Alright, check this out. Here we have the Asus Zephyrus G15 with an 8-core Ryzen 5900HS, an 80W 3070, and a 165Hz Quad HD display. This video will demonstrate frame rate and thermal performance expectations for Doom Eternal, using these in-game settings as the base for this test. Here we showcase the turbo profile and performance profile in the same action pack location. Both settings get the CPU to nearly 90 degrees Celsius. This was just 10 minutes worth of testing. The turbo profile allows the 5900HS to pull more wattage, and the Zephyrus is louder as a result. GPU saturation suffers in this title quite often with a slightly higher utilization on the GPU in turbo mode, since the CPU is given more power to feed the graphics card. Now, is NVIDIA Optimus to blame? Well, here's some footage of the Mech G3 using NVIDIA Optimus switchable graphics mode at 1440p and 1080p. It is happily pushing the 125W 3070 with solid GPU utilization, so I'm not too sure I can blame NVIDIA Optimus when it comes to the performance shown here. It's become more clear that the lower wattage 5900HS, while a binned chip designed to perform well at low wattage, this chassis and overall hardware setup does not seem to allow the CPU to stretch its legs in situations that would yield higher performance. Now, if you are too focused on the CPU clock speed, don't be. It doesn't work the way you think it does. Unless the CPU or GPU is under max load, the clock speed will fluctuate. You can see this with the GPU with a tested video I will link in the description, or look at your own laptop's CPU at idle, watch its clock speed move around while it's not under load. Then compare that to the clock speed when playing a game. Then compare that to the clock speed in AIDA 64 CPU stress test. You'll see wildly varying results, but only one is right. Using this overlay as an example, the only way you can trust CPU clock speed would be when the CPU utilization is at 100%. That's not something you want to see happen in a game. That means it's using all threads, in this case 16, at their max load, and performance will suffer as a result. The reality for gaming should be focused on GPU utilization. As long as this is at 97% or higher, the CPU does not have to work any harder.